Hello and welcome back to my cozy creative little corner. It has been a little while because I've been traveling, as evidenced by my very thick junk journal. I took this journal with me while I was on my book tour and visited a couple of different countries and cities, and I met a lot of you guys as well, so there's all sorts of fun stuff in here which I'm really excited to share. If you're new here, my name is Martina Calvi. I'm an author and artist. I wrote this book, The Art of Memory Collecting, and I just released this book, A Year of Junk Journaling. This video is not a how-to. You don't need to do anything right now except sit back and look and watch and hopefully be inspired by some of the pages that I show you. I really hope this makes you think about what you could collect for your own journal or inspire you to do a spread tonight. Maybe even while you're watching this video you could start journaling, but you don't have to do anything. I just hope it is a nice relaxing comfort video for you to watch. This is my ribbon junk journal from Martina's Tiny Store. She is very full, very loved. I definitely put my journals through the absolute most, and hardcover journals are not the most forgiving for junk journaling, but I think she's held up very, very well. At the very start, we have these intro pages. I put this lovely little quote just to remind you that your life deserves to be documented and your tangible memories matter. I had a rule with myself with this journal that I would try to use all of the things that I collected while I was in that actual location. So these first few pages are from Abu Dhabi, which was our layover, and I tried to actually paste those in while I was still in Abu Dhabi because I find that by the end of a trip, I usually have this whole bag of junk and things that I've collected, and I haven't pasted any of it in my journal. And then it just sits there and stares at me, and I feel really guilty that I didn't use it. So I don't know if anyone else feels like that or does the same thing, but I really tried to switch it up on this trip and I started actually using things as I collected them. These first few pages are from my time in London. We started off the book tour there, so you can go back and watch my videos from that time, but it was so much fun. We did a lot of shopping, a lot of book shopping. I love bookstores. And I love Liberty. I love all of the old buildings in London, so it was a lot of fun just to collect and just enjoy my time and collect memories while we were there. This next spread I actually did while we were on the train from London to Paris. I love journaling on a train. I think it's the best way to do your journaling because you have this time limit and you just have to use what you have and enjoy the process. I love a little bit of a time limit because it forces me to just let go of perfection, just make sure the page is filled. That's the only rule. And I had lots of little stickers and things from London that I wanted to use, so this really just forced me to get in the swing of it and release my own sense of perfection and just enjoy journaling. Some of you may disagree with me, but I actually love using stickers in my journal spreads. For me, that's like the final little touch that makes your page look really pretty, and I love to support artists like Isabel Rose and Alice Williams. They're both artists from London, and I loved using their stickers and artworks in my journal. It just added that extra touch. I know some people think that a junk journal should just be junk, but I don't really like to enforce rules on creativity. I think that it's just good to encourage creativity wherever possible, and if you're enjoying junk journaling and if that just means using your craft supplies and sticking stickers everywhere, then that's totally fine. Just so long as you're enjoying yourself, that's really all that matters. Junk journaling has no rules. My favorite thing about junk journaling compared to other modes of journaling is the use of texture. I love that this page has so much texture. All of my pages from Paris had so much texture. I was using tissue paper, I was using see-through bags, I was using ribbon, foil, anything I could get my hands on. I just think that anything that's tactile serves as such a beautiful memory trigger for later because you just touch it and you remember where you were and what was happening when you picked up that piece. And whenever I'm feeling stuck with junk journaling, I just pick a color. So for this spread, I definitely chose the color red, and I just used all of the items that I had collected that had the color red in them. So I have a pamphlet from the Louvre, I have this toothpaste packet, I have stickers, I have coasters, I have ribbon. And then we jump into New York, which is where we went after Paris. This is kind of a pink theme. I used this wrapping paper from a bookstore called Pillarcat Books, and I used anything that had this lovely baby blue in it. So I collected things from the Knicks game that we went to, from Pete Johnson, and I just love the color scheme of this page. I continued with the pink background. I think pink just works with every color, to be honest. This was more of a pink and red theme, but I also added this little blue ribbon and lots of fun little stickers and business cards that I picked up in New York. The New York craft community is just incredible. We had over 900 people turn up to the book signing book event in New York, which I think just shows how thriving the craft community really is and how much we all show up for each other. It was just so inspiring to meet so many people. At this point, I was really struggling to use all of the materials I had collected because I collected so much just from New York alone, so I did end up putting some aside to use later, but I really did my best to stick to my rule. This is one of my favorite spreads. I just think it's so girly and cute and fun. There's not really any theme or sense of concept to this page, but I just love it. And again, when in doubt, just add lots of texture. We have this beautiful little ribbon, this tag, this envelope you can open. This is what makes junk journaling so fun and so visually satisfying. It's full of things that you can touch. After New York, we went to Austin, Texas, and I just love Austin so much. I have so many beautiful, good friends there. It's such a fun place. People are so friendly, and I collected so many fun little bits because we did the most amazing events there. All of the places that I visited in this trip, from London, Paris, New York, Austin, all of the spots, all of the crafty stores, stationery stores, galleries, cafes, just places of interest have been added to our communal Google Maps. It's called the Crafty Worldwide Directory, and if you haven't already, it is the best map ever. I'll pop the QR code on the screen and you can save the map to your Google Maps, or you can add your own places. That would be great. There's over 2,000 places and it's constantly updating with people from our community. After Austin, I went to LA and revisited Sticker Planet, the best sticker place ever. And I went to the Photo Booth Museum. I went to so many amazing, fun places. And honestly, it's because of that map. You guys have given me the best recommendations. And I feel like a local every time I travel because I already know all of the best places of interest for me. I ended up going to Adobe Max again, which is a big creative conference that's held in LA, and it was so much fun. I got to meet so many people, and I think this was my favorite trip to LA because I really just felt like I had a community this time, and I got to do an event with Nandi from Junk Journal Club. I got to catch up with my pen pal Misha and just catch up with so many amazing people in real life, and that was just really wholesome and fun for me. By this point, you're probably thinking she's very burnt out, and I was. I was so burnt out because it was a lot of travel and a lot of socializing, a lot of events. For me, being someone who's more introverted and who loves to stay home and just craft most of the time, going out every single day and seeing people all the time was really a lot on my nervous system. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I find it really hard to slow down and give myself that permission to just do something that's not productive and is just creative and is just reflective and personal for me. And junk journaling is the best way to fill up my cup and do something just for me. It is a form of self-care, so it's very important as part of like my mental health and looking after myself. We ended the book tour by going to Australia, where I'm from, and we went to Melbourne. It was so exciting to finally meet the Melbourne crafty community. They have this amazing group chat of over 250 people, and it was just so nice to meet in person, all of these familiar faces. I also had access to this giant bucket of washi tapes, so this page is literally just me using all of the washi tapes that I had access to because that was really fun and just so exciting. The next page I didn't even finish. And then we went up to Sydney, and my friend Brooke calls this the Met Gala of crafty community events because it was held at Pinterest headquarters, which was so fitting for the journal girls. And yeah, we just had a beautiful crafty time at Pinterest headquarters in Sydney. Funnily enough, this is probably one of my least favorite spreads because there was just no rhyme or reason to it, but I think it's good to show you guys that some of the pages aren't even finished. This spread is really fun because it has this embroidered piece of fabric that my friend Kayla did, and all these photo booth strips from our Canberra event with Scrap Society. That's my friend Brooke, who I spoke about. That was such a fun event. And then the next week I was finally back home in Sydney, and I went to the Dangerously Modern exhibition at the Art Gallery of New South Wales, just for like a little creative day. I love wandering around an art gallery with some music, some headphones. My journal should stop here, but I actually love to do a couple of spreads when I get home. I love going through the leftover pieces that I've collected and pasting them in because there's always little things that I've forgotten about, and it triggers memories that I've forgotten about. I made this extra spread about my time in London because I had the sticker from Alice Williams and a bunch of little bits that I didn't want to forget and I wanted to use, and it just reminded me of little memories that I'd almost forgotten about. I am definitely still guilty of saving things for a special occasion. As much as I tried to break that habit, at the end of this trip I still had all of these fun little bits. Like this whole page from LA is just bits and pieces I had in the bottom of my bag, and I just decided instead of throwing them in the bin, I may as well paste them in my journal. And there's no real rhyme or reason to this, there's no chronological order, but I'm just happy that I still documented these memories. And that is my entire journal from 5 weeks of travel. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you feel inspired to junk journal. If you're already a junk journaler, comment below, let me know when you started journaling, and if you have any tips for other people as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being part of this crafty community, and I will see you in the next video.